we gonna do, Leon?
Hate to say it, but we're sandwiched all right. Quick, in that cabin!
Hello and welcome to Gun Theory. Today, we're taking a look at Resident Evil 4's Riot gun. In real life, this would be the Benelli M3 shotgun. We will be judging the Benelli M3 on three major categories: appearance, performance, and general circumstances. Let's jump right into appearance. At a glance, this shotgun looks very unusual. We'll notice that the buttstock is not native to the M3 shotgun, but actually comes from the Benelli M4. Another thing we'll notice is the front sight. It appears to be an incredibly tall post, with space for an actual front sight post, but there's no post present. The rear sight also sticks out, as there are wings for a rear ghost ring sight, but again, no sight is actually there, so Leon is aiming solely with the laser aiming module on this shotgun. But then, when we examine the gun through the inventory, suddenly a peep sight appears for the rear sight, but no front sight is present still. We can also see that there is a charging handle on the bolt in the examine screen, but like with the rear sight, it is just gone in the gameplay itself. Overall, the appearance is rather lacking, but through the lens of a highly customized M3, it's not as bad as it could be. Let's have a look at performance. We can see that the shotgun has very high recoil, which is expected. The larger buckshot that Leon would be firing from this shotgun simply has a very unpleasant recoil impulse, so it checks out. Now, for the damage. This shotgun has a firepower of 10 when upgraded. This is the same firepower seen in the Chicago Typewriter, which is chambered for 45 ACP. If we examine the muzzle energies of these cartridges, we can see that the Riot gun is quite underpowered. 45 ACP muzzle energy from a 10-inch barrel is something like 600 foot-pounds, while larger buckshot from a full-length shotgun regularly sees about 1,700 foot-pounds. That's nearly 3 times the energy per pull of the trigger. So the Riot gun should really have between 26 to 30 firepower were it to be realistic. Next, let's look at reloading and magazine capacity. We can see that no matter how many shells need to be loaded in, Leon always loads 2 in, and suddenly the magazine becomes full, even when you only needed to load 1 in. This is obviously not to be expected. And as for the magazine capacity, the Benelli M3 comes with either a 5 or 7 round magazine, which can't really be extended beyond that 7 round mark. Competition shooters do extend their magazine tubes to ridiculous lengths, but this causes the magazine to be significantly longer than the barrel. For real-world applications, this is not practical at all, so Leon would most likely stick to that 7 round capacity. And a final point for performance, the Benelli M3 is a very unique shotgun in that it can be operated in semi-automatic mode or pump-action mode, as indicated by the charging handle on the bolt. But in-game, we can only use it in pump-action mode. I find it quite disappointing that this wasn't part of the exclusive upgrade. Overall, the performance was really mediocre. Lastly, let's look at general circumstances. Does it make sense that a black market merchant in remote Spain would be able to obtain a highly customized Benelli M3? Most likely, yes. The M3 was widely adopted upon release until the M4 came out, when many adopters of the M3 switched over to the newer M4. It's not too much of a stretch that a relatively standard shotgun produced in large numbers could be illicitly obtained. So they did okay with performance, pretty good with general circumstances, and really screwed the pooch on appearance. Maybe they just Googled pictures of Benelli shotguns and eventually came up with the amalgamation that is the Riot gun? It's hard to say. And for that reason, I'd give the Riot gun a realism score of 40%. While it is probably the most realistic shotgun in the game for performance, it fell short on most other areas. But I hope you learned something. If you like this sort of content, please like, subscribe, leave me a comment down below, and maybe even consider becoming a patron of this channel on Patreon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.